أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Dearest, most beloved divine brothers and sisters in the concourse of humanity, the fraternity of religions, Assalamu alaikum. May the peace, may the mercies, may the blessings of God Almighty be with one and all. Here in Guyana, around the world, and you get this message on the Electric Mosque, Guyana, on YouTube and Facebook. Dearest beloved divine brothers and sisters, this is a day of recording. This day of recording fell on a very special and holy day in the religion of Islam. I'm recording on what is considered to be the day of Ashura. And it's marked on the 10th day of Muharram. It's a day for Muslims with conscience, of sadness, pain, depression, and great sacrifice. It is the day when the beloved grandson of our beloved Prophet Mohammed sallallahu alaihi wasallam was martyred and slaughtered by the tyrant Caliph King Yazid I. Muharram is the first month of the Islamic calendar. It is the month of mourning and commemoration for Muslims around the globe. Muharram falls on different dates each year due to the Islamic rotating lunar calendar. Ashura is marked on the 10th day of Muharram. Ashura is observed as the climax of the remembrance of the death of Hazrat Husseyn, the beloved grandson of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him. The Electric Mosque's presentation of the teachings of Islam has decided to spend this program today and to use it to propagate the worth of this period, and for us to reflect and to understand the importance of conspiracies, importance as a warning to our hearts, conspiracies, jealousies, and insecurity. Mourn and derive messages from Hussein's sacrifice according to the principles of Shia Islam, and fast on these days. Sunni Islam or Sunni Muslims regard fasting on Ashura as recommended but not obligatory. For the Shia Muslims, the fasting and the reflection and the opportunity to educate is obligatory and necessary, or this epic history of martyrdom will go into oblivion. While fasting during the month of Ramadan, the 9th month in the Islamic calendar, became obligatory, the fast of Ashura was made non-compulsory but highly recommended. Many do choose to fast, and Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah, was said to have fasted on the day of Ashura. What is the significance of the day of Ashura? Ashura Day is a major religious commemoration for Muslims, especially the Shia Muslims. But I know many Sunni Muslims who also fast and observe at least 2 days during this period. The Shia Muslims, they remember the martyrdom of Imam Hussein during the historic epic battle of Karbala, and I find it strange that no one ever thought it wise to make a movie of the battle of Karbala. The day of Ashura falls on the 10th day of Muharram. The month is Muharram, a significant and holy month for Muslims in the Islamic calendar. Muslims believe on the 10th day of Muharram, Imam Hussein, the son of Hazrat Ali. And when I think of Hazrat Ali, I'm always so moved because Hazrat Ali was a counsel of Prophet Muhammad, his historian and his scribe writer, who was also martyred. Imam Hussein was the son of Hazrat Ali and grandson of Prophet Muhammad, who was killed in the battle of Karbala in present-day Iraq. Excuse me, my throat is having an itch. Muslims believe that on this day, Imam Hussein was martyred, slaughtered, killed. Hussein ibn Ali took a stand against the rule of the tyrant king Yazid, the Umayyad Caliph, who wanted to enforce the rule of the Caliphate, replacing Islam and Islamic principles. In this decision, he decided his own fate and was massacred in Karbala. Yes, imagine massacring the grandson of Prophet Muhammad because they suffered. Yazid and others suffered from insecurity and feared the fact that he was the grandson of Prophet Muhammad and would teach the exact teachings and example of Prophet Muhammad without corruption. In this decision, he decided his own fate and was massacred in Karbala with members of his family and supporters. A most cruel and heinous massacre. Hussein said, "I will never give Yazid my hand like a man who has been humiliated, nor will I flee like a slave. I have not risen to spread evil or to show off. I only desire to enjoy good values and present evil as it is." He was not born to flee like a slave, and he would not bow to a man who was a tyrant and corrupted, and even corrupting the religion of Islam. Hussein decided to move himself and family to Mecca in the hope Yazid's supporters would respect the Holy Land. Mecca is the Holy Land, a place where there can be no war. And he thought he would move his small group and his family to Mecca, believing that Yazid would not attack and his people would respect Mecca or Makkah. However, as Hussein, his family and supporters made the journey, he was interrupted by a battalion of Yazid's soldiers who blocked them and diverted them towards the desert town of Karbala. You must know that he was going to Mecca with the hope of delivering peace, creating peace, and working for peace, and to prevent destruction to his family and unnecessary wars. But they blocked his movement and they shoved him to the desert town of what is now historic Karbala. When they reached Karbala, the forces surrounded their small band and blocked their access to the water supply. Yazid's side had a group of 30,000 soldiers, which vastly and historically outnumbered a small army of 72 men and their families. But the soldiers were under strict instructions not to let Hussein leave. After a week, word reached Hussein that Yazid had ordered that he was not to be allowed to leave Karbala until he had taken an oath of allegiance, which Hussein was not prepared to do. Remember, I told you earlier that he said, "I will never give Yazid my hand like a man who has been humiliated, nor will I flee like a slave." Imam's family and his supporters were deprived of water for 3 successive days, and the Imam was killed and beheaded in the battle by Shibir ibn Til Jawashan. May the curses of Allah be upon him. May he roast in hellfire for eternity, as should Yazid, O Allah. During the battle, Hussein's 6-month-old baby, Ali al-Ashkar, was killed, and the women and children were taken as prisoners. They would kill that child because they did not want a descendant of the Prophet of Islam to live, or he would always be looked up upon with reverence and respect by the peoples. He was killed, a 6-month-old baby, and their women, which obviously had to involve the wife of Hussein, and taken into slavery as prisoners. Beloved brothers and sisters, whenever I read this story, I get emotional. And you know what is sad? Recently, a brother who is a Maulana, whom I respect usually. I don't know what is wrong with these guys when they get power, like Yazid. And someone who is Shia in principle and understand the emotionality of all of this, and also a Maulana, sent some words out. And that guy, which comes from an Islamic organization or institution which is highly looked down upon around the world, and which organization is always castigated, including himself, would attack this Maulana of the Shia doctrine in this respect and say what he's spreading is propaganda. To me, this guy, whose organization is frowned upon by many Muslims, by most Muslims around the world, is becoming a Yazid or a tyrant. What a shame it is. We must learn to have tolerance and respect. Islam is a religion of non-sectarian principles and philosophies. It is a religion where Muslim is Muslim. A religion where we worship Allah and we respect each other, as Prophet Mohammed said in his last sermon, brother unto each other in one brotherhood. Sects were created, SECTS, by people to control human mind and to control their pockets. You control their minds and you control their pockets, and you made them slavish beings to a doctrine which the Quran speaks against and the teachings of Prophet Muhammad, that is sectarianism. There is no such thing as Sunni in Islam, or Shia, or Deobandi, or anything. There is Islam and there are Muslims. This is the reality of Islam. The people create these groupings in order to gain power. And imagine what that sectarianism, insecurity, and ambition would cause to even murder the Prophet's great grandson Ali al-Ashqar. Influence of Hazrat Hussein in modern society. The great Imam presented a movement to the entire humanity which was peerless and unprecedented throughout history and which will never be forgotten. This movement is a model. He showed self-sacrifice on such a large and grand scale for the sake of achieving the divine goal. This self-sacrifice means laying down one's life and the lives of one most dear. The captivity of the family of the Holy Prophet's household, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, on the terrible and disastrous circumstance, enduring the difficult event, so that Islam would be preserved, and so that fighting against oppression would remain the principle in the history of Islam and humanity. This is an event which will be peerless or pristine and pure forever. Dearest and most beloved and divine brothers and sisters in Islam, the concourse of humanity, and the fraternity of religions, the entire 50-year life of Hussein ibn Ali, son of Ali, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, is a lesson. His childhood is a lesson of example and class. His youth is a lesson of dedication, peace in harmony, and respect for all. His behavior during his imamate or during his period as an imam is a lesson, and his behavior after the martyrdom of his elder brother Imam Hassan, it's a story of Hassan and Hussein, is also a lesson. He never went looking for vengeance. It was not the case that Imam Hussein's, Allah, blessings be on him, responsibility was confined to the last day. However, the event of Karbala enjoys such greatness and brightness that like a sun, it's a thing when I study it and I get into it, bring tears and great sadness to my eyes. Today, dearest brothers and sisters in the concourse of humanity, Imam Hussein's name is in glory. His family legacy is in glory. And they are obviously protected by the hands of Allah in the best of places. And obviously he is, and his other siblings, with the beloved Prophet Mohammed in the Ashura. Yazid, on the other hand, is in disgrace, shame, along with Shibr ibn Kil Jawashan, who beheaded the great and mighty Imam, all in hell, suffering the consequences of their danger. Beloved divine brothers and sisters, jealousy is a terrible thing indeed. Some time ago, I did a program here, part 1 and part 2, on envies and jealousies and the dangers with it. Please refer to YouTube, Electric Mosque, Guyana, for this and other messages on YouTube. Beheading of the beloved grandson of our Prophet shows hate and inhumanity and lack of human conscience to behead the beloved grandson of Prophet Mohammed for the sake of power, when you say, or when Yazid says, that he is a follower of the teachings of Rasulullah and a Muslim, Muhammad, peace and blessings, and to go behead his son in disgrace. And when Ibn Til Jawashan took the head on a spear to Yazid, Yazid was hitting it with his spear and mocking it, that you are challenging me, you, and was piercing the head, constantly with his spear and mocking it. I can't recall the name, but one of them said, "You say you are of Islam, Yazid, and you follow the teachings of the Prophet. Do you know that this grandson, Hazrat Hussein, sat in the lap of Rasulullah, the Prophet, and was loved by him and played him, and you're doing this to the head of the Prophet of Islam?" I can't recall the name of that individual, brothers and sisters. Shows a lack of conscience and inhumanity. And then to murder a child and take his wife into captivity. These are the people today who it is said are the rulers of Arabia. That is why the kinds of cruelty, despotism to remain in power, it is said and written by people. And that they are the descendants of the original enemy of Rasulullah, Abu Sufyan, who became one of the Sahabas of Rasulullah and even was sent as a governor to Egypt by Rasulullah. Peace and blessings of Allah be upon him. Dearest brothers and sisters, let us honor this day in respect and love and make dua. And you who don't have respect, don't say the messages are propaganda. You're committing a similar sin of Yazid. And respect people's emotion, even if you disagree with their teachings. Beloved brothers and sisters, may the peace and the mercies and the blessings of Allah be upon one and all. Tune into YouTube, Electric Mosque Guyana, for this and more programs. Tell your family and friends. And also Facebook, Roshan Khan.
He's the sustainer and the maintainer of the whole universe. La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. Muhammad is the messenger, Allah is the return. La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah.
Assalamu alaikum. May the peace and the mercies and blessings of Allah be upon all.